at 200 SMA. So you're right at that 200 SMA. And then, right, you have like an overbought stochastics, which kind of gives you a really, really tricky spot. So why it's a tricky spot is just that when the market is so strong, you know, that it could be overbought, so then it kind of runs out of juice, but it's too strong to short, right? And so then you end up with just rest days or kind of like tweener days. So that'll be something to just be real mindful of is, you know, today could be like a little bit more of a sideways day in the market or like a range day, which is totally fine. Sometimes the market's just too strong to short, but, you know, not strong enough to break through due to the fact that you've got this. But there's more than enough PR plays out today. So we should, on a day like today where the market's overbought but it's stuck at resistance, what I'll be looking for is to play more of the gappers and stuff like that. As there's quite a bit of earnings plays running around today. So just something to be mindful of. Gappers for today. Favorite on the list so far, if it can kind of hold down and come back, is this PAGS. This was like, this is an IPO stock. These IPO stocks that are having bad earnings, like Yeti yesterday, have been getting dusted. So I got this on watch for potential ORB. It actually moves pretty well for the most part. This one will be at the top of the list. I got Safeway over here, or Sprouts, or whatever they want to call this thing. We got a gap down here, and it's been basing out pre-market. Something like this can ORB. You are seeing like these like kind of little retail stocks really get dusted at the open that are having that are missing their earnings. You know, yesterday Tilly's kind of had the same thing, right? You want that kind of bust down sideways movement, and then like look for that crack. You're seeing that on a lot of these. We had Chico, right? Chico's the day before, and then Tilly's, and so a lot of these kind of specialty retail stocks have been showing up on the gap scans every single day on the downside, and they've been following through. Hey David, how are you? Mr. Jaworski, what's going on? Frankie Ram, what's going on? All day, all right. Hey. Good. GameStop's also on here, but I buy a lot of video games on here, so I don't want to short it. You know, I'd be really bummed if GameStop went out of business. It's like the coolest place to hang out. So I'm not putting that on my list for moral purposes. I got to draw the line somewhere. Zuo. So this is a tech company. You're getting dusted here pre-market already. Basing out a little bit, breaking the trend line on the daily. We should be good to go over there. Norbert, what's up, baby? On the long side, this tick is already following through. I mean, it actually may break out just right now. You can see over here. So this thing got popped up on some kind of news here, and it's been kind of chilling at the VWAP. Already really good pre-market action. You know, I'd watch this thing at the open. You know, if it starts to, form a pattern or something, you know, you may get a little Friday surprise. Don't chase this thing up. You know, there's just a handful of people like all day that trade these kind of things really well. Don't chase it up, right? Like, let it really set. Let its trend set. Let its VWAP develop. You know, a lot of these small cap stocks, like what will happen is after they pop up, they'll sit there and they'll pull back to the VWAP like numerous times and hold and shake everybody out. So, like, they'll try to break out and you'll be like, oh, shit. And then you end up buying it high and then it'll pull back to the VWAP and then it'll pop up and it'll keep doing that. You'll see that like quite a bit on some of these things. And my TC2000 froze. Hold on. So what I was saying is, you know, when they kind of start to go, right, like watch those like VWAP areas. You know, what they'll start to do is like, you know, you want to see them kind of pull back and hold and pull back and hold before they really, before they go. So just be mindful. Don't chase this little tick up, but, you know, keep it on your watch list. It should get a little bit of action today. Mr. Ramos, ¿cómo estás? Add AMBA to the list too. You know, you're breaking out of this trend line over here. You know, AMBA used to have quite a bit of shorts on it. Let me see if it's still there. You know, one thing with TC2000, these dicks, you know, they took out the short ratios on these things. They used to have them. They've been doing whatever they can to save their data. So you can see here, okay. So like on AMBA, short interest shares, 6.7 million. Short percentage of float is 21.5. And then where's the days to cover? So this is always like when you think about how many shorts are like in a particular stock, the days to cover is really the most important ratio. And what days to cover is like, say stock does 1 million shares a day in volume, and then it's got 20 million shares short. So what that means is it would take 20 days of its normal volume for it to cover the short. So when you get something that's got, like, say this thing is, I don't know what its earnings are, we're not going to read it, but say this thing starts to break out, right? Say this thing starts to break out, and all the shorts need to cover. So they're like, fuck, this thing's got to go ballistic. When you got that many shorts in it, and it's going to take 20 days to cover, they're all going to try to cover at the same time. And you can get like really quick intraday spikes on these things. And so I keep an eyeball on the Amberilla because that's you know, that can be a telltale sign of a short squeeze. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to go. You still got to wait for a pattern and really hunt for the right entries. You know, ideally, you want a pattern kind of like this Tech D that, like, right yesterday from our watch list yesterday, man, we fucked up. We should have been hammering this thing all day. Right, this thing gapped up, right, pull back to the 9, green candle to hold, right? That's the kind of setup you want, and then let that thing trend and do what it's got to do. You know, that's what we're looking for today on AMBA, and then we'll put this W day on the list also. This one is long. I'll only take this trade though if it hangs out above 155 because that's its all-time high. You know, if it busts below that, you know, it could get faded off. So we'll have to be mindful. This is not the right environment sometimes for big tech gaps. And then keep this SPLK on the watch list too. What's up, Ray? How you doing? Yeah, so you guys... You guys is nice, man. But you guys, I'll tell you what, man. I was up like $1,500 on you guys like twice yesterday. I kept selling off just half and getting stopped out half on the second half. You know, this thing is tough because like I caught this spike over here, and then like literally like 2 candles later, it dropped $10. Then it spikes and it dropped $10. It's gonna be tricky. Hey, Amit, I mean, you got to work hard, get a good teacher, and spend a couple years working at it. It's no different than any job. There's no quick fixes in trading. You know, some could take years to get good. Yeah, so UNG's right at that sweet spot. So I do think that you got to keep it on the list. Like you can see here, 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests. It definitely has the juice to get going. We just got to get it going. Good. What else you guys watching? Everybody's just watching this tick? What the fuck? I'm just teasing. Guys, remember when you get too many gappers on the list, start to narrow down the list, right? So like, you know, on your TC2000, go with the 6-window layout and really focus in on what the best plays are so you're not watching too many. I usually keep a couple monitors, one with the main watch list, and then I use that 6-window layout, put it on the monitor on top of my monitor. So I like to stack them up. Put them on top of it, so now you're really focused in on your best plays, and you can get this thing going the way it needs to be going. Good. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any concerns? Anybody want to confess to anything? Yeah, some of you guys been acting bad. Tell daddy what's wrong. Good, it's Friday. Try not to screw up. You lose on Friday, you're eternally damned for 72 hours, basically, right? Gonna cause you to do some drinking, most likely drugs, hookers. All the bad things in life come from what? Trading losses. So don't do it on a Friday. Otherwise, the worst of you is coming out. For some of you guys, it might be a good thing, so I wouldn't worry about it. Some of you guys probably need it. But for the rest of you guys, you normal people, try not to lose big on Friday. If you see yourself struggling a little bit, over trading, under trading, all that kind of fun stuff, just bail for the day. All right? Don't jinx yourself on the original Sabbath. Peace!